Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another episode of NFL 101. And hold on. So, again, episode 23. Um, Welcome in. Before we get into the subject, hold on. Let me pull up my notes first. You know how I like my. You guys remember how I like my notes the first few videos. Uh, but before we begin, properly, we are still 27 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. So if you know somebody who would be interested in our content overall, y'all send these videos to them, send our channel to them. Just help us, uh, grow as a channel. And if you are finding this, if you are not subscribed and finding this channel through this video, go ahead, go down, click the subscribe uh, button, hit the bell for the notifications you want, and yeah, that's it. Um, this episode, we're gonna be talking about the stats that NFL has. The NFL has, well, stats in general, not really specific stats. We'll get into those later because there are specific stats to each that a lot of positions in you know that the positions in the NFL can uh, acquire and are recorded. But excuse me while I clean my glasses. But for now, we're just going to be talking about what stats are, how they're recorded, or so stats, short for statistics, are the various ways that we measure things. Um, it's is the kid still back there? I think he's still. Yep, he's still back there. He's laying down. But um, there we use stats to measure everything from the usage of our phones to the um, you know to the amount of to what we eat to how much we drink to basically everything. But in terms of NFL and in sports, there are certain stats that are specific. The main ones are touchdowns, sacks, interceptions, yards, for or against. Um, so, are they important to this? Are they important to winning the championship? Not at all. You don't need a bunch of stats to win the Super Bowl. Why not? Because the Super Bowl isn't you know, the football isn't like a stats based competition. There are other stats based competitions out there. How much you eat, how many hot dogs can you eat for example. That's just one. I'm not. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not trying to demean or anything. Um, but yeah, so um, but they are important for public perception. You know, last episode I talked about the NFL's relationship with the media, and this is another part where the media kind of comes in and says, "Hey, look at Patrick Mahomes. He has these many yards this season, or this many touchdowns, to only this many interceptions." Um, or, "Hey, look at Chris Jones. He got this many sacks this year. He won this award." Now there are awards that are based on that might be based on stats or stats play a part in them, but I will explain those in a different episode. Um, but well, this might be a shorter episode because I spent a little bit of time talking about subscribers. But anyway, um, the main award that stats might play a part in is, you know, the Hall of Fame. Now, the Hall of Fame, I'll explain in another episode about how players get in, or when players are in, when players are eligible. Y'all know I can't English. At least the subscribers know. But anyway, the Hall of Fame does take stats into consideration when they are considering a player to be inducted. Um, and again, like I said, there are awards that at the end of the year they give to the players that are determined by stats. And you might be a record holder in a particular stat, for good or for bad. There are bad stats too. Um, you know, but anyway, I think I'm going to end the episode there. I know it's a shorter episode, and I know I spent part of it talking about subscribers. But if you aren't subscribed, click the subscribe button if you like our content. Uh, we have more content in NFL 101. I will see you guys later.